streets right now, fully clothed in preparation for today's protest and what will pan out. There are tricycles here as well, what has been known in different parts of the country as Mahama Kandu as well, all here and present, and as well loud blasting music in terms of what it is that we're seeing here at the Nkrumah Circle at this particular point in.
And again, this demonstration taking place live. Eric, right in the thick of affairs, trying to bring you the latest by way of the coverage. And as you know, we have thousands of them on the streets right here in Accra, but also more thousands across the country, because this demonstration is being convened across the various regional capitals, 16 regions in all. And the NDC is raising some key concerns in excess of nearly over 300,000, they say, discrepancies, individual voters who have either been transferred, duplications, or transfers made without recourse to those individuals, and we're back.
Of this particular protest, all here today seeking to be a part of this particular demonstration as the roundup completely taken over by these demonstrators in their large numbers this particular afternoon for what is a demand being made of the as well. To continue to bring you live details and live coverage.
And again, this is on. And so what is very important is also to note the presence of the Ghana Police Service. Already we're getting the latest indication that there seem to be some disagreement between the police as well as some demonstrators in the Ahafo region. So we'll bring you the latest with that, but
yes, he's saying it's a narrative, but the protest is here to affect. Are you here today? What constituency are you coming from?
Yes, please. We are here for change. We are here to tell. We are here. The youth, we are suffering. Why? I see anything. We the youth, we are suffering. Our incoming president, we want the incoming president, John Dramani Mahama, back in this country. We are suffering too much. Oh, why? Why Nanado and Baumia? Why? And Napo? Why? We are suffering. We want to tell the youth that when they are going to vote for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He is the incoming president. He is the Osiadiayo, Okayo. Look at Circle. Look at Kotokoro Market. Look at the Port. We don't know what to say. Mama, we need you. We need a change. John Dramani Mahama, we need a change. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's a young voter from the Wejagbawe constituency. Let's perhaps speak to a bit more people. Where are you coming from to be here today?
I'm from Kaswa. Yeah, I came here for a very good cause, a just cause. We cannot live in this country for other people to decide who they want to lead this country. The cause have been from day one. The rigging machination has been from day one. We cannot live in a country where all democratic effort to get the EC, to clean the register, have a valid register, a valid registration document that represents the people. That represent the people, and you are adamant. Why? What is our mistake? What's our problem? Is it our problem to accept a democratic regime, a same democratic have brought our president, Akufo-Addo, to power. I'm ashamed of Akufo-Addo. You have let us down. You have disappointed us. We are ashamed as Ghanaians that you are our president. We gave our goodwill. We supported the guys of the everybody. We believe in Ghana. This is not the Ghana Nkrumah fought for. If Nkrumah fought for Ghana, and today we have this type of leadership, we must be very much ashamed. Akufo-Addo, you are a failed government. You are a failed president. You have failed our African leadership. You have failed. Leave. You cannot force your protege on us. You cannot force your applicant on us. You cannot force us to accept who you want to inherit from you. You have failed. Just go. We don't need you. Go. Your time is up. You cannot hide under a democratic regime and continue to push your parochial agenda. Ghana is not for only one family. Ghana is for all of us.
Thank you. Please speak to you as well. You have to project for me a bit.
For one simple reason. The reason is that we need a very clear and a register that is clean, that we can all use and vote and have a peace in this country. Why am I saying this? Let's say we are in a football field. A referee has put up for a foul, and the captain decided that no, the foul you have put up for is not right, and the yes, this is what it is for us, to let us have a forensic
Thank you very much. Let's try engage a lot more people, relatively older. Boss, why are you here today? How old are you? You're supposed to be home resting.
I'm representing the blind people. Because if something happens, they can't go anywhere. They will die mercilessly. So you still have to do the right thing for Ghanaians. For instance, if you have been to the polling center to vote and your name is not there, please, what will happen? You will not be happy if I'm lying. Yeah. So we are here to demonstrate and tell the whole world that our EC should do something better for the country to get its own peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so, and a lot more groups, a lot more individuals, persons really affiliated to the NDC already making their way to this particular place. But I continue to tell you that the entire area has been taken over by the supporters of the NDC in their large numbers, and the demand is really simple of the Electoral Commission. They say that they want a forensic audit of the country's current electoral roll. The Electoral Commission, interestingly, before this particular protest, has said, look, a demonstration is not going to do anything. It is only going to increase the animosity and create suspicion and doubt about the work of the Commission. But the NDC says they are proceeding nonetheless with this particular protest. This is your Election Command Center. We're bringing you live coverage of the NDC's Enough is Enough demonstration, a protest that's been put together by the largest opposition party. And at this particular point in time, really, it continues to be a gridlock situation where
Well, certainly. So the demonstration is taking place across the country. Indeed, the 16 regional capitals. In the Ashanti region, Ibrahim Abubakar is monitoring event, and the question then will be, has the demonstration in Kumasi, or the starting point in the Ashanti regional capital, started in earnest? Ibrahim, what's the latest? Ibrahim? Okay, so let's go back to Mawina as quickly as possible.
The forensic audit will be heeded to by the Electoral Commission. It's a conversation for another day. The Electoral Commission continues to stress and make the point strongly that, look, we want you around a conversation, we want you around a discussion, a table. Come, let's have a conversation, and then we will show you evidence of the corrected voters' roll. But the NDC continues to make the argument that that is not what we want. Give us the documents that you say corrected. And so in your shot, you continue to see more of the support.
In Accra, the crowd very massive. Eric already reporting that the responses from residents also very much resonating with what the objectives or the components of this demonstration have been, and which is being convened by the leadership of the NDC. So what we're going to do is to make sure we touch base with our various regional correspondents, and it is because we have the demonstration being convened across all regional capitals, and so we'll go to Wangara, the rest of the team, and right here the routes that have been mapped out with the police, and they started from the Kwame Nkrumah interchange area, and they're heading to the destination point.
Just a brief aerial view for you of what it is that this place is looking like. Currently, we're at the Vienna City area of the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, where the Goyle filling station was stationed in 2015, where the June 3 flood and fire disaster provide you. If the commission did to the Parliament for the House to consider the concerns for a forensic audit. He says 20 what he has raised, or the concerns he has raised, is that 5,000
the most comprehensive election coverage.
Top-notch presenters and well-versed analysts.
Dedicated reporters and correspondents in every nook and cranny across the country.
All the action, every incident reported.
All the big stories covered.
All facts cross-checked. Every figure verified.
Every vote monitored and accounted for.
The numbers tallied, analyzed, and interpreted.
We have invested time and energy in order to bring you a comprehensive elections coverage.
The whole world will be watching us on TV, online, and radio.
Election Command Center. Facts, analysis, results.
Now let's get to the Upper West Regional Capital, WAM, and we have Ibrahim Wangara ready. And Ibrahim, has the demonstration started in that regional capital of Upper West? Ibrahim Wangara?
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Has the demonstration started?
Yes, the demonstration has started here in the Upper West region, and currently we are right in front of the Electoral Commission's regional headquarters, where the party is expected to present or read their petition right in front of the directors of the Electoral Commission, and as well as hand a copy over to them. So currently, as you can see from your screen, these are the demonstrators heading towards a police brigade that has been mounted right in front of the Electoral Commission head office in the Upper West region.
So, where did they start from and which of the routes? Because it looks like they are arriving earlier than anticipated.
Well, from the Upper West region, the route they have this demonstration on the conveyed that velocity as known to many people. Police ran about, and then from there they moved forward to the regional house of chiefs, which is not that far from the Electoral Commission. They are all located within the same geographical area, but certainly it appears the route these people use is a straightforward route that, in a way, and coupled with the police or security measures being put in place, have been able to ensure that everything moves on smoothly and well without any effort. Probably that's what contributed to their earlier arrival at the Electoral Commission office.
All right. So in your interaction with officials of the NDC and the leaders of the demonstration, what inherently are they looking at in terms of what their demands will be? That will be presented to officials of the Electoral Commission.
That they think the issue did not get right and we will want them to fix. And some of them have to do with they said it is too much. Why is the EC afraid of an independent forensic audit of the register? Because that is one thing they are calling for. They want a forensic audit into the register that has been submitted to them. They are also saying that the EC is hiding away certain things from the general public because they have made mention of where names like the NDC is claiming that a lot of anomalies such as special voters having their names on both special voters list and they say on the GBR primary A and B, the NDC is saying that they have also intercepted or seen multiple lists of 9 names which are duplicated. If you go to Siam primary A and B, they also said they have realized that the Electoral Commission printed the old version of the special voters register instead of the current one. So these are among a lot of things that they are demanding from the Electoral Commission. But currently, the regional chairman is about to alongside with other executives, are about to address the gathering. So if we could have time a bit to listen to what they have to tell us.
As you ready yourself, can you have some interactions with some of the demonstrators in the first place? And then when that interaction or the address is ready, you can take it for us. Ibrahim Wangara there, the Upper West Regional Capital, and he is covering this. They've already converged because of the short nature of the routes that were agreed with the Ghana Police Service and its officials in WA at the offices of the Electoral Commission. They're there just waiting to have a final address for the demonstrators, their supporters, and then officially handing over their concerns to representatives or officials of the Electoral Commission. And we'll take you to the Northern Regional Capital, Tamale, and Christopher Amwako is ready with the latest. And Christopher, you take a look at what the concerns have been and what the demonstrators, how they massed up at the beginning of this morning to begin this demonstration. What have they been telling you about all that they have been raising, noticing with the register, for which they are demonstrating?
Yes, so the demonstration here started late because of a heavy downpour earlier today, but the demonstrators or supporters of the NDC fight the range to actually come out in their numbers to be part of this protest. What they've been saying is that the EC should reason with them. If the EC has nothing to hide, why are they running away from the suggestion that the NDC is making that there should be a forensic audit on the 2024 voters register? And so for them, this demonstration is to, as it were, send a signal to the EC and the international community that the NDC is against the current register that is going to be used for the election, because for them, there are some irregularities in the register which the EC needs to clear. Their argument is based on a voter transfer that was made even after the transfers were closed, and most people, about 38 of them, have been illegally transferred to the Pusiga constituency where they are supposed to be voted, even though the EC has reversed some 36 of the names, but they still believe that there are several other names in the register that are not supposed to be there. And so they are supporting the call by their flag bearer that there should be a forensic audit on the voter register. And so hundreds of party supporters have thronged the principal streets here, and they are demonstrating, marching toward the Electoral Commission office in the region.
For all the money's worth, do you think that despite the downpour, they're still, in terms of energized to make sure they go through the end course of the demonstration based on the route? And can you take us through some of the routes that have been used so far and where they are currently?
I must say that they are currently charged because it's something that they have indicated that the northern region is one of the strongholds of the NDC, and so they are poised to ensuring that if every region will not come out in their numbers, they will come out in their numbers. Before today, the Northern Regional Chairman of the NDC, Ali Adolf, and the Secretary have all been speaking to me, and what they've been saying is that, look, the Northern region, as it stands now, is the stronghold of the NDC. That is why the NDC came to the region to actually launch their campaign. Currently, as it stands, the NDC has 9 seats, MPP has 9 seats, and for the NDC, this is the time that they want to show the MPP that the region is an NDC region, and so they are marching this morning to the Electoral Commission office in their numbers. They have thronged the principal streets of the Greater Tamale Metropolis, ensuring that they get or mobilize their support base in the metropolis to march to the EC office to register their displeasure on the current voter register.
And again, from the Northern Regional Capital, and we have Christopher Mwako giving us the latest, and they had mapped out, or have mapped out, the routes as agreed by the demonstrative leaders and then also the leadership of the Ghana Police Service, and that's what they are following through. Now we have the Director of Elections for the NDC, Dr. Imani Boama, currently having an address be made.
He's clothing the presidency in infamy with his continuous rhetoric that he will not hand over to somebody that he defeated. I'm putting it to him here and now on this street that Akufo-Addo will definitely leave office on January 6th. In any case, per the Constitution of Ghana, he doesn't have the luxury of handing over. On January 6th, it is done. His job is over, and President Mahama, inshallah, will be sworn in as the next president of the Republic of Ghana. And when that happens, assuming the EC will still not have allowed the forensic audit to take place, the bigger and deeper forensic audit will take place in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's the Director of Elections of the NDC, Dr. Imani Boama, and from that sweeping interview by the Director of Elections of the NDC, the command has been given for the protesters to move a lot quicker and for the pace to pick up a lot more to allow for the individuals to head towards the various points of destination. You'll be hearing double up, double up, double up, and all of that. That is to suggest to you that the protesters are seeking to pick up some interesting pace at this particular point in time. And now the command is coming again that slow down, slow down, slow down. And so this is what it's going to be like all throughout the day as they continue to be present on the street, making the demands strongly of the leadership of the Electoral Commission that a forensic audit is the way to go, and that is the surest way to ensure the sanctity of the electoral roll ahead of the December 7 general elections. Mr. Imani Boama as well alleges, amongst many other things, 15,000 votes transferred, names permanently deleted from the country's electoral roll, amongst others. These and more, the NDC says, are the discrepancies that have been identified, for which reason they are demanding and asking for some action to be taken in that regard. This is your election command center, and we're continuing to provide you live details, live coverage of the protest by the NDC, the Enough is Enough demonstration. Interestingly as well, we see the leadership of Arise Ghana as well also here. They were here some 2 years ago on the streets of the capital, which resulted in some bloodshed. Let's try pick thoughts as well quickly from the leadership of Arise Ghana. You've decided to join the NDC today to be on the streets. The big question is why?
It's a very simple reason. If there's a system that doesn't need an audit in this country, then it means it is not the best system. As and when you are able to compile a register, that you are aware that because of its deficiency, you would have to have it exhibited. If there has been an exhibition and we have seen a very huge chunk of error, in some instances deliberate error, and you are telling us you cannot audit it, then what have you to hide? It will have to mean that they have something to hide. So whatever they have hidden in the register, they have to now let us eliminate it before we go into the election. If not, it will not be fair.
If not, it will not be fair. The EC has made the point that, look, a demonstration is not important. What do you say to that?
They are not democratic. They are a bunch of undemocratic individuals, very dictatorial. I mean, the fact that you have an independence doesn't mean you are an EC unto yourself. Without us, there is no electoral commission. Without the electorate, what? We can't have an election. So, I mean, they have to understand that they are in service to the people of this country, and they are not serving themselves. They are not serving their paymasters. They have shown clearly that they are players instead of referees. I mean, if you have nothing to hide, let us go into an audit and have the whole electoral roll registered, I mean, audited. If we audit it and it comes out that the auditing has not shown anything, I mean, everyone will have a very clear mind to the extent that everything will be fair. But until we are able to see transparency, then you should be, I mean, aware that the people are up for something. And if anyone tries to want to rig the election, it will not call for peace in this country. Our existence as an organization is to call for peace. And that is the only reason why we have come here, to make sure that we support the National Democratic Congress in our quest for peace. Because if there is anything rigging in the next election, we will see Ghana again. Myself, I wouldn't want to have a president who has rigged an election to lead me. And I'll call for anything. So in the best interest of all of us, in our own interest, we should call for a forensic audit. That will help for everyone to know the fairness and the transparency in the electoral roll.
Thank you. And the leadership of Arise Ghana as well, sharing their true thoughts as to why they are on the streets today. And it continues to be lots and lots and lots of supporters of the NDC who are here in their numbers and being a part of this particular protest, as we've been witnessing all throughout the morning up until this point in time. And we will engage a bit more individuals, persons within the NDC as well. Let's try and pick a bit more thoughts. Honorable, thank you very much. You in the NDC, you've made the case quite simply. The EC says it's not possible. Come to the table for a conversation. Interestingly as well, civil society groups have made the argument as well that you should go for a conversation and not necessarily a protest. How do you respond to the Peace Council, Codeo, all making such claims and asking you to go and meet the EC instead of being on?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Let me say that in every situation, there are stakeholders. I think that NDC is a prime stakeholder in the election. Those other people who are talking about this particular situation are not going to contest any election. The NDC is going to contest an election, and the NDC is going to invest in that election. And so the NDC must be very, very clear in its mind that the election that is going to contest in, the field is level, so that they can contest the elections in a manner that at the end of the day it will be fair and transparent. And so that's the reason why the NDC will insist that the forensic audit has to be done. Now let me tell you something. Somebody may ask, why is the NDC protesting? It's not the first time that the NDC has protested. The MDC has protested in the past, and the NPP has protested in the past. Now it's not also the case that the NDC did not try to meet the Electoral Commission for these matters to be resolved. The NDC actually met the Electoral Commission and the matters were not resolved. And as a result of the protest, to know that has a responsibility.
And as you know, it's the comprehensive coverage of this Enough is Enough demonstration being convened by the NDC, led by their leadership. And again, this demonstration is being convened across all 16 regional capitals. And already we've been to Tamale, the Northern Regional Capital, also while the Upper West Regional Capital, and touching base, bits and pieces with interventions and then reports as to what is taking place across the country. We know that in Cape Coast Central region, a lot is also happening. We'll be touching base there. But currently, let's go to the Volta region, and who is ready? We have Faisal Abdul, who is ready with the latest. Faisal, you take a look at the decisions that have been made, the agreement with the Ghana Police Service based on the route. Where did they start from? What can you tell us where they are based on the agreed routes currently?
Well, so per the agreement, they were to start from the Nkojo Pass through the market stretch to Ola, then all the way to White House, through the Gala, and where stretch to the electoral committee where they determinating the protest. I'll speak to you, the protesters are almost close to the office of the electoral commission, where a huge number of security of the Ghanaian police officers have mounted a barricade right in front of the electoral commission. Right behind me are the protesters already coming. We should be approaching the police very soon, where they will be presenting the petition to the electoral commission.
You have some interaction with a number of the protestants, and let's get to know what they make of this demonstration in itself and why they are there.
Well, they've been telling us that this is just an opportunity for the electoral committee to do the right thing. Indeed, for the NDC and its members, they would not have any other opportunity to get the electoral commission to conduct a forensic audit and to mount pressure on them. And this is just the beginning. I spoke earlier with Honorable Imani.
And that is Faisal Abdul, our correspondent, Ho, the Volta Regional Capital. And apart from just Ho, we also have various demonstration and team coverages across the various regional capitals. It is because the leadership of the NDC is convening this demonstration across the various regional capitals. And Faisal, you were saying?
Yes. So for the NDC, this is just an opportunity to mount pressure on the EC to conduct the forensic audit. They told us earlier today that this is just one of the many actions they intend to undertake. Right after this, if the electoral commission doesn't listen to them, they scale up this very agitation, get down to the constituency level, the district level, and ensure that the Ghanaian public is aware of their demands, and most importantly, for the fact that these persons they say have been transferred in some cases stand to be affected on the day of the election. And so the Ghanaian public must be aware of their concerns and also join them in the protest to ensure that the electoral commission does the right thing.
Faisal Abdul Idris also had an interaction with the Member of Parliament for North Tong, and Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa is the one chosen among the NDC leadership to lead this demonstration in the Volta region. Here is his interaction.
No, first of all, it's important to emphasize that the stability of our country, the peace of our country, is being toyed with by this reckless, incompetent, inept, and biased electoral commission. We are sending a very clear message to the Jim Mensah-led electoral commission. What has changed? When she was at the IE, she was called for an independent audit of the register. In 2015, she issued a statement ahead of the 2016 elections as IEA boss, calling for an independent audit. So what has changed? Why is she so averse suddenly? Why does she lack principle? Why is she so dishonest? Why can't she be consistent? We will not accept that. The tried and tested mechanisms, which we have used always, anytime, are sending a very clear message that we will stand to protect the peace and stability of our country. We will continue to protest until the register is cleaned up until the Electoral Commission agrees to a forensic audit. If they do not agree, we are going to continue to ratchet up agitation. We are going to continue with these demonstrations. This is just the regional level. If they don't listen, there will be a district level across all districts in the country. So
Samuel Kudjetto-Ablakwa, the Member of Parliament for Norton, leading the demonstration for the NDC in the Volta regional capital. And Faisal, you take a look at where you are currently. Are you closer to the Electoral Commission office? If you're not, how long before you get there?
Yes, Roland, we are very close to the Electoral Commission office here in Ko, where the protesters have already arrived. Like I indicated earlier, there is a barricade right here in front of the office of the commission by the police. So we wait to see how the presentation of the petition will be done here and the office of the issue. We do not know who is coming to take the petition, but we should be looking forward to the regional director of the election to receive the petition from them, which is here in Volta.
Does it mean that two petitions are being presented to two different officials, apart from the Electoral Commission? Yes. That is.
Yesterday, the NDC indicated to us here in the region that they will present their own version of the petition to the commission here in the region. You will recall that during the petition exercise here in the region, there is a couple of concerns which all borders on the issue of inflated figures, illegal transfers, among others. So these specific areas within the region were told yesterday that will be captured in the which will be presented to the Electoral Commission today here in Volta.
Well, certainly. Thank you very much, Faisal Abdul Idrisu, giving us the latest. The Volta regional capital, our lead correspondent there, giving us all the sight and sound, up to the minute update on what is taking place. This enough is enough demonstration being convened by the leadership of the NDC. In the Volta region, it is the North Tongue Member of Parliament, Samuel Kudjetto-Ablakwa, who has been designated to lead this. Currently waiting for officials of the Electoral Commission to come forward for them to read out this petition and then subsequently the handing over. But we also do know that the former President John Dramani Mahama is already in the news indicating that the NDC does not hate officials of the Electoral Commission, but every indication is that these discrepancies that have been noticed with the latest compilation of the voters register would mean that addressing these discrepancies with this register will be the right thing to do. And we know that one institution that has been very much on the neck of the Electoral Commission over the years has been Imani Africa. We will soon be speaking to the founding president, chief executive for Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, to get his latest view on the posture of the Electoral Commission and then ideally what needs to be done by either listening to the NDC or not. Franklin Kujo, good morning to you. You take a look at the position of the Electoral Commission and then vis-a-vis the position of the NDC as well. Where do we find the middle ground?
Well, I think the only middle ground, good morning, by the way. Sorry, we all kept waiting for each other. First of all, let me just say that the only middle ground really is for common sense to prevail. And by common sense, I mean even the ruling government itself. I suspect, and I've been asking myself, is it only the NDC who are affected by these rather deliberate attempts to disenfranchise some people? I suspect the NPP must be concerned as well, but well, maybe they are not concerned. Maybe they've seen it. They've seen what it is. So I'm asking that the common sense should prevail by making sure that all those who need to speak, and then on this matter, I think Parliament should have the last word. Because you see, time without number, we are dealing with an EC that is they're just out of this world. I mean, I've used all the adjectives I could use, and I'm being charitable here, my brother. Look, this is the EC, and my personal experience is for what I'll suggest people should take, and they should be very careful when the EC tells you that trust us. You know, on November 30th, I sent my chiefs to go and see Jane Manson because we were alarmed that we were going to be disenfranchised. I'm talking about SAR. Oh, she met with them and I assured them that, oh, nothing will happen. And later we spoke. So, oh, our chiefs were very well behaved and nothing is going to happen. The Samuel Teti, the gentleman involved recently, talking about plants and animals. issued a statement on 6th December, actually issued a statement, I think a day after my chiefs had met Jane Mensa, and said the same thing, oh, don't worry, you all vote in your mother constituency, because they knew what had happened, right? Then 5 days later, issued a statement midnight, a day to the elections, and said, your people cannot vote for an MP. Now, I kept asking questions. Well, she never bothered to even answer us. She took herself off all our CSO platforms. And that was the end of having any civil conversations with her. So if this person later comes and tells you that look north, you should be looking south, really. In the intervening period, we all know what they've done. Procurement issues here and there. People do not understand. Look, when we were shouting before the 2020 elections that these guys are procuring expensive equipment that may not actually do the job properly, people thought we were fooling ourselves. Now the chickens have come home to roost. Sometimes when the civil society act takes up an issue, you all should not sit on the sidelines and watch them burn alone. Because one way or the other, you come back to the same issue and realize that they were really right. So for me, look, it's a combination of incompetence, what is happening, and I'm pretty sure that their machines are failing them. The very machines they claim that were super tight, watertight, and the reasons why they needed to throw away perfectly working machines, over 3,500 of them that we had purchased in 2019, 2018, threw all of them away, they claim, and use fresh money from the taxpayer to go and procure these expensive equipment, which we have not tested properly. Now, it looks as if that may be failing them. Some of them are also getting stolen. You remember they recently burnt a number of them. We didn't know how they burnt them. They claimed they sold them to some people, auctioned them. We didn't know how the auction process went. Those are the matters we took to the shroud. So look, we don't hate, people think we hate people. I mean, I hear all kind of funny things. Jane Mensa was my boss at the IEA. If there's nothing at all, she trained me in how to manage a think tank. And I'm sure the verdict is out there for everybody to see. I don't hate her at all. I rather detest the incompetence and the deliberate lies, obfuscation, and fraudulent activities that her commission has been dogged with. I don't know how the president managed to assemble these frontline commissioners. It's really, you listen to them on TV and radio, and sometimes you want to puke. I remember on Saturday, I was watching them, one of the guys clowning himself on the Afro show. And then later I went to watch Key Point. Then I later switched TV channels and watched the other guy on Joy. And it was just a clown festival. You know, all these people think we are stupid. And then I sat back and asked myself, maybe it's a perfect strategy that they will clown themselves on national TV and radio and then make us all look like we are stupid and they are otherwise. Because otherwise, how do you really detest something like this? You claim your register is clean. You accept the fact that the NDC tells you that 3 or 4 of the issues, you have identified them, which are grave issues, by the way. And they said then conduct an audit. I don't know. I mean, I've been the person spreading the news about Jane Mensa issuing a statement, a communique in 2015, because I posted it this around 4 a.m.
Yeah. And
I saw a story from Daily Guide, and I posted the entire story. And I was mortified when reading through the statement, and I was mortified to know that Jane, my own boss, was actually gung-ho on making sure that the register was clean, and actually accepted that, look, there must be an audit, because an audit is worth saving 1,000 lives, right? So what would have changed, really? And, you know, maybe for me, I think the reason why they don't want people to look into the register, it looks as if the issues, the problems are actually more magnified than the NDC may have actually identified. So that's why I see the fear is that if we don't take care, there will be a total overhauling of the entire process.
Now, Franklin, it is the actions of the Electoral Commission that keeps many, not only the media, but also civil society and the key political stakeholders quite frightened. Because you look at it technologically, protocols have been breached. An official uses an entry password as well as key protocols to be able to make inventory into a data system. Then you also find before this very incident, officials denying that biometric verification machines used to capture data is missing, then subsequently found in the hands of miscreants. Clearly, there has been some level of irresponsibility on the part of the Electoral Commission. That keeps everybody frightening, questioning how transparent and fair this election is going to be.
You know, without a doubt, really. I mean, look, a combination of factors you just related tell you clearly that this is a very incompetent Electoral Commission. You see, it looks to me that they are so incompetent that, as I'm telling you, that at least the problems are more magnified than we actually are dealing with. So my fear is that, or their fear is that they expose themselves, they allow themselves to be audited. We may find other things that we will actually be surprised at. So the incidents you narrate are perfect. I mean, how do you say BVR machines are missing? I remember when we shared those rare pictures with you guys where we showed people they had thrown away all these BVDs that they claimed they were auctioned. We took pictures and brought to the public and showed that they had disposed of all these machines, claiming they were obsolete. We don't know how they were auctioned. We don't know how how much they were auctioned for. We don't know who bought them. For us to now hear that some of them got missing under the watchful eyes of their cameras on the EC. And then recently, I think I saw a video, you must be referring to that. I think it was CTFM that showed that video where someone had a biometric machine. They're asking where you got it from. So this is an EC that unfortunately I am lost for words. And it hurts me so much that one person who should consider me her protege, Jane Mensah, who I still respect her. But I think that she's been so incompetent to the extent that she doesn't even allow herself to be purged. And that is the worry. So, and I don't know whether because she's shielded by I don't know whether it's the NPP that shielded her or the president that shielded her. It just beggars belief, really, that a few years ago, we were on the same page asking for the very thing that the NDC is asking for today. And you have even agreed that look, 3 or 4 of their issues are actually right. But why am I not surprised? I'm telling you this, Roland, because I'm not surprised at all that she told me and my chiefs that, oh, don't worry, go back, go and sleep, when my chiefs were concerned that there were likely to be attempts for us to be disenfranchised. So don't worry, go and sleep. Actually told me, oh, your people were very well behaved and all of that, they will vote. And then 5-6 days later, they issued a factor that you can't vote. And you asked me to trust you, I won't. This is the EC that procured these biometric machines we are dealing with today, which are giving us problems. That procured the machines through a fraudulent process. You remember we told you guys when we found out the way they rigged the bid and made sure that the company that won the bid had lesser figures. When you combine all the various figures under each of the thematic areas, you actually get, I think, 96. But they rigged the thing and made it 106 of the company and made the second company that won, that should actually have won 102. That's how we found out that they rigged the process. To the extent that the chairman of the entity tender committee resigned and decided that he was not going to sign the entire fraudulent enterprise. We said it. So for me, look, you are talking probably to the wrong person who already has an issue with the EC. The issues are clear. People say we hate them. Why should I hate somebody? I'm not interested at all. I'm interested in saving the money.
The demonstration will take place, but let's say the Electoral Commission still stands by its position not to have an audit undertaken. What should be the next recourse, not only of the NDC, but key stakeholders like you, etc.?
Well, I think it is now Parliament should be the last arbiter. And I think when Parliament says what it has to say, then I call on the majority leadership to actually see reason and prevent chaos at the polls, because that's what is likely to happen. I mean, imagine all these noise is not being made, and then you go to the poll and you realize that over 3,000 people can't find their names. Over 200,000 people cannot find their names. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to say? And I'm asking them, I'm talking directly now to the leadership of the NPP. Are they telling me and everybody else that we are all stupid, that all the things the NDC is saying, it only affects the NDC people? That must be some real magic anyway. So it will be irresponsible on the part of the leadership of the NPP to sit by and allow only a section of Ghanaians to be clamoring for the right. And this is not this is not the same as the earlier elections. And even the earlier elections, we supported them in 2016, yes. And Charlotte is at pains with some of us because she thought that she was taking off lightly over procurement. In fact, the thing Charlotte did is just a fraction, the procurement issue. Just a fraction of all the sins and the very grave sins this EC has committed. Now, I will not hesitate at all to be the first person to petition whichever government comes into power to chuck them all out of the office and actually to investigate them for fraud and corruption. You know, it's really irritating me that to think that we are going to an election and the same group of friends who were in NPP, who were shouting loudest for which we supported them in 2016 against Charlotte, are today sitting by and graver wrongs are being committed. And they never said a word. The NPP never said a word about SAL. All my good friends, from the president to my majority leader, all the people I had who are called friends in the NPP, turned their back against us and SAL. Are you really good friends? And by the way, I don't care about being friends or not, but you should be the last people sitting by to watch this country burn. And I don't think they should be quiet at all. They should all speak now because these issues are grave. They should call for a proper audit. The president has said that he's asking the EC to be impartial. It goes beyond that. You know, the president says all sorts of things and nothing happens to him. I don't know what, let me not digress. You know, so he's my good friend, by the way, but he knows now that we have decided to go. We are not going back to the days were good, because it disappointed me greatly. I think I want to talk directly to him that the last legacy should leave is not an implosive country, an imploding country, but a country that is at peace with itself. We should ensure, call the EC and tell the EC, look, behave properly with their issues, deal with it nicely, and get it out of the way. But you know, like I said, I suspect that some other pastors should be talking to them as well. But this one, I don't know whether it's the evil spirit that is overtaking them. But I suspect as part of this evil spirit is the fact that we will be finding more various, very damning things they don't want us to know. That's my hunch, actually. That I think that issues are graver than we thought.
All right. Thank you very much. Franklin Cudjoe is founding president for Imani Africa and then also the chief executive. Now, let's go to the Eastern region. And just like we told you, the demonstration by the leadership of the NDC is taking place across the various regional capitals. And Kofodua is one of them. Yvonne Nikwe is ready. Yvonne, you take a look at where you are currently. Has the demonstration come to an end? Demonstrators, have they presented the petition? What can you tell us?
Well, Roland, the demonstration here by the opposition NDC in the Eastern Regional Capital, Kofodua, has ended. They presented the petition to the Eastern Regional Director of the EC, John Bafo, a while ago. They're asking that the forensic audit be done. The leaders, John Pablo, the national organizer, and executive of the party in the region here, led them through the 2-hour demonstration across the central business district. So I speak to you, the demonstration is over, but the police are still here at the EC's office, ensuring that within this period to probably later in the day, they still protect the EC. Now, if you take a look at some of the concerns they have, before that petition was presented, what did they say they were? Well, from yesterday, the conversation I did have with the regional executive, they told me that across 8 constituencies, their analysis informs them that there were a number of voter transfer and proxy transfer that was more than what all of them, including the EC of the various constituencies, have agreed upon. Mind you, when it comes to elections, it's about numbers. And so if what they are alleging that a number of people have been moved to other constituencies, then it does mean that some MPs probably might fall short of their result. And so probably this is what is informing them for this particular protest, because for everybody who is supposed to be in the register, they are in the register. Well, thank you very much, Yvonne Nikwe, giving us the latest update. Kofodua, the Eastern Regional Capital, is where she has been monitoring the latest update on officials of the NDC leading that demonstration in Kofodua in the Eastern region, having officially presented their petition to officials of the Electoral Commission and well received in that regard. Already we know that a memo had been sent to officials of the Electoral Commission across the various regions that they should not make public comment on the demonstration at the point of receipt of the petition.
from the NDC leadership, and so that's the latest on that. Here in Accra, we have the latest. Eric also monitoring the demonstration across the various agreed routes in the capital, the principal street, as they have agreed with the Ghana Police Service, where they intend also subsequently converging at the frontages of the Electoral Commission, and then subsequently also presenting that petition to officials of the Electoral Commission, but more so accompanied by a number of officials, among them the chair for the NDC, Johnson Esiedin Ketia, the minority leader, Kaisel Atofors, and a number of the leading members of parliament who, among others, Sam George, we earlier spoke to, and we'll be again and do a recall of some of those insights for you to get to know what their concerns are and the latest coming in the various areas. So we also know that in the Upper West region, officials of the NDC now having themselves ready to present that petition to the Electoral Commission. We'll get you the latest update as well, so that all of us get to know. Now, Yvonne, so what then officials are saying by the NDC will be happening after this presentation of the petition to the Electoral Commission officials?
Well, the NDC in this region said that after this demonstration, they'll be hoping and looking out for the Electoral Commission to do their demand, the forensic audit, ensure that everything is that. Otherwise, they may take the next action. Exactly in clarity what the next action is, we do not know. We're hoping that as we get there, we will see exactly what that action is. Mind you, we do have just about 3 months to the general election. So this is one of the things we'll be watching out. Then again, we're asking ourselves if the forensic audit the NDC is asking for is lawful according to the CI guided by the Electoral Commission. So all of these conversations, one of the things all of us will be looking forward to as the days roll by.
In region, now let's go now to Eric Egbeta for the latest again.
And people want to in this election, all we always say is we need free and fair election, isn't it? So if we need free and fair election, we are calling on things that will make the register on the voting processes free and fair. Imagine a police conducting a random search, and they find out that there is narcotic on you. And they're asking that because there is a huge amount of narcotic on you, let's go into your room to see if there are more there. And you are resisting the police. Aren't you calling for fight if you are resisting arrest? You are calling for a fight if you are resisting arrest. And that is what the NDC stands for. We need a credible register. If I
demonstrating for, and then my name is, we are not demonstrating free and fair. That's why the fact that we are demonstrating, our demonstration is very free, it's very fair. And the understanding of it is that the EC should do the right thing. And we will adhere to them for the election and the results we are calling for.
All right, let's hear from you as well. Is that a similar argument you're making?
Yes, what I want to say is that the National Democratic Congress gave birth to this democracy that we are enjoying. And therefore, the party, the NDC, is poised to making sure that the democracy and the peace that we are enjoying will never be destroyed. And therefore, whatever we have identified as a tool that is potentially going to destroy our democracy and peace, that is what the NDC is fighting, because we gave birth to this democracy. I want to say that the Electoral Commission now is becoming a threat to our peace and our democracy. And therefore, we are demonstrating to the world and for Ghanaians to rise and to caution the Electoral Commission to sit. Right now, the Jemensa-led the Jemensa Electoral Commission, Dr. Bosman Asare Electoral Commission, is becoming a threat to our peace and democracy. And that is what the NDC is trying to solve and to prevent any problem from happening. We are for peace. We are protesting. We are demonstrating peacefully, and we want all Ghanaians to support this call.
Thank you. Let's hear from you.
See,
you say you're a victim?
Yes, I'm a victim.
Transferred illegally?
Illegally. I'm a victim of that.
Where do you vote originally, and where have you been transferred to?
I vote at Okwaikwe North. There is a Winnie. He's my MP. I voted in 2020 election. This year, because I voted in 2020, my mind was that, once I voted in 2020, there's no need to go and check when they open the voter exhibition. So I didn't go. Till on the last day of the voter exhibition, a friend of mine called me from Tamale that they've illegally transferred her vote to Pussycat. His vote in Tamale starts. So they've transferred the vote. So I should go and check. If I said, because I voted in 2020, it will not happen, I should just go and check. When I went, they are closed. So he texted me a code that NDC had generated. When I checked, instead of Okwaikwe North, they took me to, there's a Whitechapel in Anyasotuom. Even though it's not far from each other, just neighboring constituency. You know why they did this? There is a winning constituency, it's a swing constituency. But Anyasotuom, the likelihood of MPP winning it is very high. So if the illegal transfer, you go there. Wherever you vote, might not change the outcome of the Anyasotuom constituency. But a winning constituency, the margin she won the seat with was not that much. So they can easily do that to disenfranchise people and took you out. That's what they did to me.
So you from Okwaikwe to Anyasotuom?
When I did not step my foot there to change, do a voter transfer. So I reported to my cooperative. They said they are on it. It's part of the reason why I am here demonstrating. I am a victim of that.
So as at now, you don't know whether or not you've been brought back to Okwaikwe?
No, not at all. So my only decision is that they should open the register, let them audit register for us to check and see everything is okay, peace and fall, that's all. And another thing why I'm here, you see this government, their history, they have never built a public university before in Ghana. But they go around naming public university, which doesn't make sense. I want them, if you want to do something,
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let's hear from one more person. Just briefly, talk to us briefly why you are here.
Yeah, in a democracy, the majority rules. I hope you know that. How we are saying is that we don't want anything to necessarily work in our favor as NDC. But let's just ensure that the right thing is done. Everywhere, all organizations, whether public or private, accounts are audited. Whatever has gone on, I saw my name in the register, all right. But I know of other people whose names were not in the register. We have made a point about Tamale Central, for instance, 25 people being transferred to Pussycat constituency without any knowledge of this. We've spoken about other places. Some people are male, their identity have become female, their ages have changed and so on. So we are saying that just take a second look at your own register. Your register in this current form is not fit for purpose. Let the majority decide in a democracy like it's meant to be, so that everybody will be satisfied in the process. It's not necessarily about NDC, it's not necessarily about MPP. Let's ensure that the right thing is done for Ghana, so that at the end of the day, the will of the people would hold. And that is what I'll say, my brother, any day, any time.
Thank you. Let's speak to the Member of Parliament as well. Honorable, thank you. I see your jubilant dancing, but amidst all of it, there's a certain level of seriousness in demanding of.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the good people of Ghana and all regions to tell the EC Constitution, it is for the people of Ghana. That are not going well. That will impede the peace and stability that we all desire. There's a need for us to stand up and become voice out. Every single person to the people, and that
and over the last couple of hours trying to bring you this conversation and then also up to speed with all that is happening. We began with the main discussions on big issues and then subsequently touching base with what is taking place not only from Accra but the various regional bases or the regional capitals of the country where the NDC, alongside their leadership, are convening this demonstration. Now, straight away, let's go to Kumasi, the Ashanti regional capital. Ibrahim Abubakar with the latest. Ibrahim, you take a look at the principal street where you've been through. Where would you say currently you are? Ibrahim. All right, so having some technical challenges so far. Of course, what we can acknowledge is that technology have been a bit bad, but so far, visuals from the Ashanti region, they had agreed routes, as always, just like other regional capitals, with the leadership of the NDC, and Ibrahim Abubakar giving us the latest pictures indicating massive turnout for this demonstration, and the police officials also ready on hand to make sure that, as agreed, they are able to provide the right sort of security to protect these demonstrators, to make sure miscreants with negative intentions who want to break the ranks of the demonstrators are able to be put in a certain region structure. Now, you take a look at what is happening. Ibrahim, the latest, what can you tell us from the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi? Well, massive turnout again. Ibrahim giving us these pictures, telling us that the demonstrators had gathered in the early part of the morning. They had agreed already prior to today route with the Ashanti Region Police and the national organizer of the NDC, also leading this demonstration as well. And just like what has taken place across the various regional capitals across the country, different members of the NDC leadership chosen to lead the massive demonstrators across the various regions. For the smaller regions, you'll find that the petition already presented to the Electoral Commission. And again, we've had reports from Ibrahim Wangara in WAM, the Upper West Regional Capital, telling us that the petition already presented to officials of the Electoral Commission, and more so across the various areas, including Ho in the Volta region. Petitions also presented to officials of the Electoral Commission. Well, so this demonstration is taking place. Accra and Accra is accommodating the massive one. It's led by the chair for the NDC, Johnson Esiedunketi. Other officials are there, including people we've already spoken to, and Kesalato Force, and meaningfully the minority leader, already indicating they are resolved to make sure that they force the Electoral Commission based on what they've noticed about the irregularities with the current register in the Ashanti region. Massive turnout for this demonstration, as being reported by Ibrahim Abubakar, already online to speak to us about it. Ibrahim, what did they start from? Where have they gone through, and currently where are they, Ibrahim Abubakar? Ibrahim Abubakar, monitoring event for us, covering this demonstration, the whole of Kumasi, where they started from a point. And Ibrahim, where can you tell us you are currently? Where did they start from in the first place?
So the demonstration started at the NDC regional office at Amokum. In fact, they were supposed to leave the office by 7, but they decided to get more numbers and leave there at 10. So as I speak to you, we reached Lancaster, that's former Golden Tulip Hotel, and from here to the Regional Coordinating Council, where the EC office is situated, is just about 500 meters. So I'll say they are almost done. In fact, but not for the evening stops and intermittent stops on the roads. I'm sure by now they would have finished, and they didn't want to get there before midday. They said they wanted to get there at midday. But Roland, I can tell you that thousands of people have joined the demonstration. Even though in the morning it started at a very slow pace, we thought more people wouldn't be coming, but by 9, the entire NDC regional office premise was full. So people even had to wait at joints and be joining the demonstration whilst it goes on. So a number of people have joined. They're not only supporters or members of the NDC, but I've seen members of the Convention People's Party, APC, and other smaller parties. They are members too. They said this is nothing extraordinary. At least for whoever wins the 2024 election to accept, or whoever loses to accept defeat, then they expect a credible voters register. This is all they are asking for. And they do not see the need for the EC to drag its feet. If the EC indeed believes that everything is fixed, then they should allow for the forensic audit into the voters register, and they will be okay with that. But even apart from that, they are saying that should the EC still go ahead and use this voters register, then their plan B will have to be to protect every single ballot, to make sure that every single ballot counts. Because they are confident, I mean the NDC are confident that come December 7th, they are winning the election. So for that to be able to become a reality, then they will also deploy that tactics of making sure that they sleep at the various polling stations, at the collation centers, until the results are declared.
Other leaders of this demonstration, and it's good that with your experience you're able to identify that by way of the massing up of the crowd, it started quite slow. Would you say this crowd also, in addition to determining or telling us who the leaders are, that this crowd is organic? They're all coming from Kumasi and Greater Kumasi.
Well, it's because the demonstration is a regional demonstration, so others are coming from other parts of the region, not outside the region. In fact, almost all the people I've seen, because I've not even seen one single person outside Kumasi who has joined, with the exception of the national organizer of the NDC, Joseph Yamin, who by way is in both in the Ashanti region. So he is a resident of Kumasi, so he has to be part of it. So they have limited to parliamentary candidates, members of parliament. You know, in Ashanti region we have 4 members of parliament. It is only Muntaka that I have not spotted. Maybe he will join in Accra because he has other activities, but the others are here together with their supporters. So even though some non-NDC members have joined, but largely I can tell you that 90 to 98% of the demonstrators are members and sympathizers of the National Democratic Congress.
How are normal residents and even other political stakeholders in Kumasi responding to the massive turnout for this demonstration? Ibrahim.
You know, Ashanti region being the World Bank or stronghold of the new Patriotic Party, they didn't expect these numbers. But of course, for NDC to have gotten 600,000 of the votes tells you volume. Like even if 1/10 of that 600,000 decides to turn out for this demonstration, then obviously the numbers will be huge. So that is what we are seeing. The streets are filled. In fact, the traffic that this demonstration has even brought to Kumasi is huge. But they are hoping that by midday or by 1 when they are done, there will be a traffic flow. So the numbers are huge for the political parties, for the MPP. They say that this is nothing that will shake them, because if they are to organize a similar demonstration or any other demonstration, they believe that they could have gotten 2 or 3 times this number. And they are saying that these are people who are from all corners of the region. So the numbers are not even up to, let's say, 10,000. So they do not see any threat that the NDC will pose to them. But for the other smaller parties, well, they believe that they have concerns that they need to be addressed. So having that number at least also is a testament that indeed the NDC is so happy with the voters register, and for that matter, their members have come out in their numbers to be part of this demonstration.
Have the NDC leadership, especially those leading this demonstration, been able to recount some of the discrepancies, if any, recorded in the Ashanti region?
Well, they have given figures, but not specifics. They have given figures in other constituencies that they believe that after the voter exhibition exercise, there were some anomalies. Let's say New Edibiase, for instance, they detected that over 1,000 people were transferred without their knowledge. And other constituencies also recorded similar discrepancies. So they said they had to do this because at the end of the day, on December 7, and someone is transferred without his knowledge, and the person did also partake in the voter exhibition exercise, it means the person will be disenfranchised. And they believe that these are means or tactics that the NPP, together with the EC, is trying to deploy to subvert the will of the people come December 7.
How many minutes more or how long before they are able to go through the various points to present the petition to officials of the Electoral Commission in the Ashanti region? Ibrahim.
Well, Roland, as I speak to you, I can see the main entrance of the Regional Coordinating Council. I'm just maybe 50 steps away from that office. And the parties, the members are also coming. Like I said, they do some intermittent stops. So as I speak to you, they have stopped at Lancaster waiting for the others to join. So they are working even in badges because of the large numbers. So they are waiting for all of them to join, so they all walk here. But at the entrance of the Regional Coordinating Council, the security is very, very tight there. The place has been locked. I'm sure they only allow few people who are the executives or officials to enter before they will be able to submit their petition to the Electoral Commission. In fact, the Electoral Commission office in Ashanti is not sitting inside the Regional Coordinating Council. It's just behind it, but you have to pass through the Regional Coordinating Council to be able to access that office, even though they have another access route, but this is where they are using. So a number of the party supporters who have taking the lead are currently massed up at the frontage of the Coordinating Council, waiting for their leadership to come and enter to be able to present the petition, because the numbers, the RCC cannot contain the numbers that is coming.
Have the leadership of the NDC been able to tell you in the Ashanti region what they'll do if the position of the EC still remains the same after this demonstration?
Well, so like I said earlier, they have Plan B, and the Plan B is that if the EC does not conduct a forensic audit into the voters register, they cannot say they will not be part of the voting or the election process. They have to be part. So their Plan B is to be alert at the various polling stations. So this time around, they said they have employed agents who are more knowledgeable, people who can read, people who are vigilant enough to make sure that there wouldn't be any error committed at the polling station, because that is where the elections and the coalition centers, that is where the elections are being decided. So their Plan B is that they will ensure that every single ballot counts, every single ballot is protected.
And he's covering comprehensively this demonstration for us in Kumasi, and already reporting based on the pictures you already seen on the screens or had shown you earlier. Massive turnout for the NDC for this demonstration. And we know basically just a number of items that the NDC is protesting over. Basically discrepancies noticed with the compilation of the register for the 2024 general elections, being that there have been among a number of concerns being raised, transfer of names to other polling stations, either outside constituencies, sometimes outside regions, and they also say, according to their present-day monitoring, more discrepancies of multiple registration also being done, and names not being removed, and subsequently people even not finding their names even on transfer lists, as well as additional names on current transfer lists without notification, etc. And so as a result of that, the leadership of the NDC notified the Electoral Commission about these discrepancies. They had wanted a live coverage on the day of the meeting, didn't come on, and subsequently they are now reaching a decision point where the best way to be able to drum home their concerns is to convene this demonstration. Again, we have to emphasize, this demonstration has been convened, it's been convened across various regional capitals. And as you know, for the Republic of Ghana, we have 16 administrative regions, and we've brought to you coverage across many of these regions, particularly not only in Accra. We've been to Ho, we've been to Wa in the upper West region, and subsequently the Northern region as well, and bringing to you the latest. In some of those regions, the numbers have been small. Some of those regions, the numbers have been massive and big. Here in Accra, Eric Egbeta monitoring the situation for us alongside other reporters we have on the ground to give you the latest update about this demonstration taking place. In excess, the NDC is making claims that over 300,000 numbers, single people have had these discrepancies affecting them, and as a result of that, an external audit agency has become paramount. And they say a forensic audit is the way to put to bed some of these complaints in the run-up to the election on the 7th of December 2024. And very soon, we will take you to the command center, where we're going to have Kamani Nyamani Amano Martin Esiedu Date for News Central to continue with the latest when it comes to the massive coverage we're giving this as your election command center to tell you and bring you up to speed on this demonstration as to what's taking place. Your election command center in command of this coverage demonstration by the NDC all over.